Welcome to the 700 Club, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome our lovely co-hostess. What is your name? Terry Music.
Bill Smith. It's good to be with all of you. Yeah.
Mrs. Smith. Anyhow, Terry's here with us. The nuclear threat from North Korea is now unprecedented. That's not a warning from President Trump. It comes from the defense minister of the nation of Japan. At the same time, North Korea is also capable of causing serious damage in another way by what's called cyber warfare.
Well, President Trump is expected to pressure China to take a tougher stand against North Korea when he travels to Asia next month. Dale Hurd brings us the story.
With Kim Jong-un's continued nuclear threats against North Korea's neighbors and the U.S., a major Pacific ally has all but endorsed a military strike, if necessary, to stop him. Speaking at the Association of Asian Nations Summit in the Philippines, Japan's defense minister said North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities have grown to an unprecedented, critical, and eminent level that could compel Japan to endorse possible military action. On his way to the conference, Defense Secretary James Mattis said the major nations in the region all agree the Korean Peninsula must be free of nuclear weapons.
There's only one country with nuclear weapons on the Korean Peninsula. The UN Security Council's unanimous resolutions give a pretty good idea of how the international community looks at it.
Secretary Mattis did not mention military action at the conference, but instead focused on diplomatic pressure. President Trump has said the U.S. will resolve the North Korean problem alone if necessary, to prevent Pyongyang from gaining the capability to attack the United States with a nuclear missile. But when he heads to Beijing next month, the president will pressure the Chinese to make good on their vow to tighten the screws on North Korea. China is North Korea's only major ally and accounts for more than 90% of North Korean trade. The White House has said China needs to do more. North Korea is a threat to the West in more ways than one. The website MarketWatch reports that North Korean hackers can launch anonymous cyber attacks from various different countries without the risk of retaliation. It says North Korea is now capable of stealing hundreds of millions of dollars a year from just one type of online attack alone. And they can attack digital banks and have even hacked the South Korean Bitcoin exchange, stealing almost $1 million of the cyber currency. The author claims North Korea's potential to create mayhem on the internet is almost limitless. And right now, there's not much anyone can do to stop it. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Think that their ability to create chaos is limitless. I tell you what will happen, though. If people begin to hack, and they're skilled at it, they can hack the computers of the major banks, of the major credit companies, of the major retailers, and of course, you know what they did to 20th Century Fox, as I recall. Was it Fox that they were working on, or was it Sony, excuse me, Sony, who were going to do a movie about Kim Jong-un, and they hacked them and took away their scripts and so forth. I mean, it's unbelievable what can be done. So it's frightening to think about, but nevertheless, it's real. And sooner or later, we're going to have to do something about it. And we just pray the president will have the wisdom of the Lord in what to do. By the way, he is not going, at least he said he's not going to be able to go to the DMZ, which I think is a very smart move, because he could be assassinated. He'd go up in that area. It would take one missile to blow him up. And I think that would be a tragedy. So we don't want to expose our president to something like that. He can sit in a ship off the coast and say everything he's got to say. But by the way, right now, Regent University, listen to this. We have a standalone cyber range. It's the leading edge or training tool to provide world-class cybersecurity simulation. And we're going to be offering security operations center training, C-suite executive awareness, information security certification, and we'll offer a BS in cybersecurity, a BS in cyber and digital forensics, and a Master of Science in cybersecurity. Now, that's just what's being done at Regent. We want to train people how to counter the threats, whether they're from North Korea or Russia or any other country. So it's exciting. We've got the most sophisticated cyber range probably in existence right now, certainly for any university in this country. And it's an exciting thing. So if you want to get some, cutting-edge training, Regent University is the place to look. The number, by the way, is 866-910-7615, Regent University. Okay, President Trump is heading to Capitol Hill today to try to get all of the Republican senators on board for cutting taxes. Will he succeed? John Jessup has that.
Well, Pat, the president hasn't always gotten along with some of the Republicans in the Senate, like John McCain and more recently Bob Corker of Tennessee. But Trump has been working hard to bring Republicans together to support a tax bill, doing more to sell his plan to the GOP and the public than he did with the repeal of Obamacare. The president considers the tax plan his top priority for the rest of the year. Congressional leaders want to have a bill ready by early November. Well, in addition to cutting taxes, the president is also taking other measures away from the headlines to strengthen the economy by cutting old regulations and not introducing new ones. The government has added an average of 13,000 new restrictions annually for the last 20 years. But under Mr. Trump, the number of new regulations could be close to zero. The Weekly Standard reports that's the finding from a study from the Mercatus Center, a free market think tank at George Mason University. And Pat, as you well know, various studies have found regulations have cost the economy trillions of dollars.
There's no question about it. And he said in an interview that I did with him some time ago that the business leaders he talked to said that the regulations were more burdensome than the taxes. The regulations have been strangling and killing our industry. And to think that under his administration, not one new regulation, and he's been taking off thousands of others. But imagine what's been done year after year after year by these little bureaucrats, like little termites, working throughout the government to slow things down, to kill private initiative. And now the president says, no way, we're going to stop that. That is tremendous. I'm very excited about that. John?
Pat, actor and producer Kirk Cameron is putting a national spotlight on faith with a night of prayer and worship right here in Washington. It's called Revive Us 2, and it airs live tonight in theaters across the country. Jenna Browder sat down with Cameron to talk about what's in store.
1 year ago at Revive Us, over 150,000 believers gathered in theaters across America for a national family meeting.
And now Kirk Cameron is back for more.
We prayed, we worshiped, we put our faith into action, and something remarkable happened.
Ready to shine a light on faith in the nation's capital.
So here we are a year later, it's Revive Us 2, and we're meeting because it seems that our nation is very divided. We hear it all the time. We're being divided about race, about religion, about politics, about gender, about choice. We have so many things causing anxiety, like hurricanes and wildfires and tragedies in Las Vegas. We need a path to unity.
It's happening here at the brand new Museum of the Bible, but you don't have to be here to participate.
That's right. So think of it as a giant revival meeting. They used to have revival meetings in a big white tent somewhere, and the community would come. Well, think of this as 800 tents, but they're movie theaters, all connected through satellite.
And just like last year, he's teaming up with big names like Ben Carson, Ravi Zacharias, and the team behind Fireproof and War Room.
There's been a shift in our culture. A fresh momentum is building.
You say an awakening is happening in our country. What do you mean by that?
Well, when the negative narrative floods our news feeds that says we're divided, we're arguing, we're fighting, we're so politicized that we can't move forward, there has been a massive shift in our culture recently. I feel a fresh momentum that's building and an awakening of people who are saying, I can see that what we're trying to do is not working in our country. It's not moving in the direction that we'd hope. And so, let's lean into our faith. Let's love God with all of our heart.
Cameron says the whole idea for this came to him in the form of an open door.
In my walk with God, I've found that whenever I seek to honor God and be a blessing to other people, if that intersects with my acting career or an ability to make a live event or a movie like Revive Us, I want to be all in. And I do it with all my heart.
And it's that passion he hopes will spread to audiences across the country.
It's time for a better and higher perspective.
In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Thanks, Jenna. And to find out where you can see Revive Us 2 in theaters along with showtimes, just visit our website, cbnnews.com. Pat, back to you.
Yeah, Kurt's a great guy. That's a wonderful thought.
Really is, and that Bible Museum is opening next month.
Oh,
and it looks like
that's the Green family
yes.
sponsored that Museum of the Bible.
Draw a lot of people to Washington.
They're incredible.